in this chapter, next point is reservoirs. The reservoirs are of many types. It may be as large as our Earth, planet, or as small as any single small shrub or plant, or any smallest animal like a mosquito. Means reservoirs are of different types. In this picture you can observe the atmosphere, air, it is one reservoir. Aquatic ecosystem, it is one reservoir. Terrestrial land or soil along with its fauna and flora, means all the plants, animals are the reservoir, as well as all these reservoirs has interconnections. Reservoir means the pathogen containing area. It may be smallest or largest like any mosquito like insect or a atmosphere of earth. These are the different type of reservoirs. Natural reservoir is known as a disease reservoir or reservoir of infections. It is specific environment in which an infectious pathogen naturally lives and reproduces, or upon which the pathogen primarily depends upon its survival. A reservoir is usually a living host of certain species, such as an animal or plant, inside of which pathogen survives, often without causing disease for the reservoir itself. Identifying the natural reservoirs of infectious pathogens has proven useful in treating and preventing the large outbreaks of diseases in human and domestic animals, especially those diseases for which vaccines are not available. The zoonotic diseases can be controlled by isolating or destroying the pathogens reservoirs of infection. Nowadays we all are very well known or well studied the point, that is corona. It is also one type of zoonotic disease. In such a cases, the reservoir must be destroyed or treated as well. The types of reservoirs are: first is a human, which is infected and having pathogens inside the body. Then next type is non-human, that is animals or plants which carries a species or pathogen which is harmful to human being. Next one is environmental reservoir. This reservoir is also like a largest ecosystem, environment, air, or a water body, or a terrestrial ecosystem. In these all type of reservoirs, we see the interconnections are there and it has the ability to infect the other type. Human beings infected by pathogens are called as human reservoirs. Many individuals are carrier of pathogens. Many are sick which shows symptoms they are fully loaded of viruses, bacteria or pathogens. Many diseases are there which are only inhabit the human's body. They can only transfer or infect the other persons through the human being, and that are list is very long, but out of few are mentioned here. Poliomyelitis virus. This virus is only present in human body. Likewise, smallpox virus, variola virus, measles virus, mumps virus, streptococcus bacteria, respiratory pathogens, sexually transmitted diseases, disease causing agents, all these are present only in human body. The next type, that is non-human animals, domesticated and wild animals which are infected by pathogens. For example, Vibrio cholerae has a reservoirs, copepod, zooplankton, shellfish, etc. Another one is blood fluke, schistosoma. It is present in freshwater snails. Then the next one is Ebola virus, which is present in body of bats. In this way, many animals are there which carry the pathogens, viruses, bacteria, and out of that, very common animal reservoirs are bats, rats, mice, monkeys, etc. And these all the three major types of reservoirs has interconnection which can be easily understood by this diagram. In this diagram, you can observe the land ecosystem in which the pathogens are there, and another type is the wild animals, birds, etc. Wild animals are present in forests, but they carry the infective agents, or it is called as vector components. These components are transferred up to human being through various ways. One is through soil, another way is through a mechanical vectors like a flies, mosquitoes, etc. Another way is these wild animals infect the livestock or the wild animals, and through the wild animals it reaches up to the human being through the flies like vector, mechanical vector, it coming from the wildlife and infect the food, water and soil, and finally reaches up to human being. Then after the decaying of dead bodies of wild animals, it enters into a soil, and in this way cycle gets repeated and completed many times, and the pathogens are reaching up to the next type of reservoir. In the second diagram on the right side, in this diagram we can observe same cycles which are repeated, including the plant ecosystem and all the wild animals, livestock, then the terrestrial plants and animals, and in two-way connections it reaches up to the human being. Again, human being which carries pathogens through the treatment, through the infected humans hospitalization, it again enter into the ecosystem via the household water, via many ways, right from air up to the soil. In this way, there are the interconnections. In this diagram, major reservoirs, animal reservoirs, bats, rats, mice, monkey are showing its interconnection in between the air, soil, water up to the human being. In this way, all the reservoirs are interconnected. The bats have specific physiology which is suitable for making them a good reservoir. Bat species slow down to conserve energy when necessary and entering into state of short-term torpor as well as hibernation, means the condition in which the energy conservation is necessary. At that time, bats enter into hibernation. Another type of behavior is roosting behavior. It provides the shelter, protection from the predators and an appropriate microclimate for energy conservation as well as reproduction. Then the food choice of bat. The food which is chosen by bats, which is plenty in amount. Then bats have ability to fly, hence self protection as well as the habitats which are well protected. They also has a migration and daily movement pattern which is very suitable for their protection as well as survival. It consists of many viruses like rabies virus, SARS-CoV, Ebola, Nipah virus. All these are present inside the bats, hence it become a good reservoir for pathogens and the viruses. Next one is rat. Rat are also good reservoir. Its behavioral pattern is also nocturnal and very suitable for the reservoir nature. The Norway rat seems to be key reservoir host for zoonotic bee Tribocorum in Belgium. Mexico rats are key reservoir host for trypanosoma. It causes Chagas disease. The mice, white-footed mice, are a reservoir for Lyme disease. Means these animal reservoirs carry viruses due to these abilities. Then next one is monkeys. Monkeys infected with an emerging malaria strain are providing a reservoir for human disease. The malarial parasite which is found in monkey's blood and it became a reservoir. Zika virus identified in Uganda in 1947 in monkeys, and then Zika was later identified in humans 1952. Thus, monkeys infected with an emerging malaria strain are providing a reservoir for human diseases in Southeast Asia. The environmental reservoirs like air, water, soil, as we seen in previous slide, these all the reservoirs are interrelated. In infectious disease ecology, the epidemiology, a natural reservoir also known as disease reservoir or reservoir of infection. It is a population of organism or specific environment in which an infectious pathogen naturally lives and reproduces or upon which the pathogen primarily depends for its survival. A reservoir is usually living host of certain species such as an animal or plant inside which pathogen viruses are survive, often without causing disease for the reservoir itself. By some definitions, a reservoir may also be an environmental external to organism, such as volume of contaminated air or water also act as a reservoir.